Hello, this is Sakchun Bernard. Lest we forget, we need to be reminded that we are spirits within physical bodies on a journey on this earth. I believe the subject of talents is very important, for we are all given talents which we are free to use. However, we need to use them wisely. We have been given the parable of the talents in scriptures in Matthew chapter 25 to remind us that we are accountable for how we use our talents. Yes, we will have to give an account when we meet God face to face at the end of our lives. And if we cannot account for the proper use of our talents, we will be excluded from God's kingdom. But if we use them wisely, we will be greatly rewarded. This life which we have is very short. Most people who know God want to walk right with Him. So there is a desire to live right with Him. One way is to find the right work where we can use our talents properly, which will make God happy. Work is a big deal in our lives, so we need to find work which we are happy to do so that life is not miserable. Well, how do we find work which we will enjoy and be good at it, yet fit within the area which we believe pleases God? I believe that He has already programmed us through the talents for specific work. Human nature is such that when we are doing something well, it bolsters our self-esteem, making us happy. This affirms that we are on the right track. Work must not break God's law. Furthermore, if work is contributing to building up society, all the more God will acknowledge us. While we are at it, be a good role model, and others around us will see godliness radiating through us. It all seems rather simple when we look at the guideline on paper to find the right work. However, in reality, we face obstacles. Let me use my past experience as an example when I was looking for work and working when I was younger. As a teenager growing up, I wanted to have a profession in teaching high school, PE, and coach in track and cross country. I wanted the lifestyle, teach half a day and have the afternoon to coach or do my own physical training. Have long school holidays where I can go for vacation. Have plenty of time for 5 and 10K runs. So I went to get trained in PE and biology in Oregon. And then when I got back to Singapore, I sub-teach at a secondary school where the son of the Minister of Education happened to be. And when the minister visited, I took the opportunity to approach him for help getting into full-time teaching. He was all business and asked me to write to him. I did, and his secretary replied, discouraging me to do PE, posing the question that when I'm older as a PE teacher, how would I cope with the heavy physical workload? I can laugh about it now, but it sounded strange then. So back then, the entryway to teach was through the Ministry of Education. So the door for teaching closed on me. On looking back, I believe that the hand of God was involved, God's grace. Teaching is a noble job, but God knows I had the wrong intention. To continue the story, I love sports. So I went full-time into sport administration at the local university. It was quite fulfilling, working with the students, organizing recreational and sporting activities to help divert their stresses. Poring over books and engaging in lectures was stressful. I had the opportunity to help my boss with the Singapore Olympic Council, and I got to meet people from all around the world. Even though I enjoyed the work, I felt it was not challenging for me. My spirit was restless. It was nudging me to aspire academically in sport and exercise science. So I went to Austin, Texas for training in kinesiology. By then, many things changed as my son and wife wanted to remain in the States. Well, thinking back, when we are in the middle of our struggles in life, things are muddled and there is no clarity. But now, years later, I wonder and tend to believe that God used circumstances to direct our lives. He probably prodded my family to be attracted to stay in the North American country through my interest in sports. When I agreed, my life changed forever. I had to deviate towards nursing in San Antonio because there is a great need for this skill. It was a drastic change, but it provided handsomely in finance, immigration, and for me to do God's work, caring for the sick. It is still in the area of my talent, for I have a good understanding of the human body and only needed to apply it to pathology. Well, more than 24 years later, I've contributed a lot of good for the thousands of sick I cared for in this city, which I've grown to love. Honestly, in my wildest dream, I would never have dared to imagine that I could ever work in caring for the sick. But by God's grace and willingness to cooperate with His prodding, all this ensure that He will see us through amazing things. He initiates and we execute. When we give Him the credit, we can say life is miraculous because of Him. Applying the parable of talents and our work-life story, employed work or voluntary work, we can see that life is a tapestry, a great piece of art. When we allow for God to use us as a paintbrush to color up our landscape of life, to impact the people of the world, great opportunities open up. Don't stop exploring. It is not all about money or status. It is about our goodness, our contribution of love, which we weave and paint through our life experience to beautify the world. At the end, when it is all completed, we can sit back with God and look at the completed work together. Imagine God's arm around you and you can expect an appreciative, loving hug from Him for using your talents wisely. Think about it. God bless.